everybody, welcome back after a long time to Conscious Conversation with me, Krissy Jae, or should I say Conscious Conversation 2. This is the new and improved version of my YouTube that I was doing before. So I haven't uploaded a video in probably at least a year, and I haven't consistently been uploading videos for a couple years. So I kind of want to explain first why that's happening, and then explain to you what you can expect moving forward from this channel. So whenever I uploaded a new video about a year ago, I was still having my friend edit my videos, and right after we did that video, we had a falling out, and I still haven't talked to him since. So I didn't really have any way to edit my videos at the time. I didn't have a computer or anything like that. Finally, I've decided that I want to do it myself. So here we are. And that would be the reason that I didn't continue before. So what you can expect now is going to be different than before. Before, I was trying to really focus on just sharing the things I was learning about that I felt like people should know. Like that you should be taught, in school and things like that. And I was trying to keep it really not personal. I didn't even give very many details about myself and like my family and my living situation and all that, because I just felt like that's not what people want to hear about. People want to hear about educational things. That's what I told myself before. More recently, I've been having a lot of teachings and guidance and intuition that I should be sharing my story, and all of us should. All of us should be sharing our stories, because what we don't realize is there's other people that we don't even know maybe, or that we do know but we don't know what they're going through, who are actually going through similar things as us and can really benefit from hearing our stories. And I just keep getting that message coming through. So I've decided, as I'm restarting this channel now, that it's going to be more about my personal journey. I'm still going to be sharing what's helping me learn, but I'm going to be having it be more personal, because I feel like that's what I need to do to help people right now. So it's going to be a little bit different than before, but still, conscious conversation. So as I said, I've decided to edit my own videos now. I just want to make it clear, I've never done this before. I have no experience editing, so please bear with me. I don't know how good I'll be at this or how great it will be, but no matter what, I don't think that the editing quality is what's most important. I think what's most important is the content. So I'm going to try to give you the best content I can and do the best I can at editing, and surely I'll get better over time. So if you're here to see amazing graphic design and great video editing skills, obviously this is not the place for you. But if you're here more for the content, this is definitely going to work for you regardless. So just stick with me, bear with me, I'll do the best that I can. So with that being said, I want to use this first video to explain kind of what's going on for me in this season of life and the lessons that I'm learning right now. So first I want to talk to you about failure. So before recently, if I had tried to start something like a new program or something, or tried to do a new habit or something like that, I would expect out of myself that I had to do it perfectly every single day for at least 30 days to integrate it. And if I didn't do that, that meant I failed. And what would happen then is, when I would inevitably miss a day, then I wouldn't be so ashamed with myself, that I would end up not even starting again. And the way that works with our minds is, the way we associate it is, you just don't want to even think about it because you feel really bad about it. So I wasn't having a bad day and then saying, okay, tomorrow I'll try again. I was having a bad day that was turning into a bad week, that was turning into a bad month, that turned into a bad year and a half. Pretty much Pretty much that's what's been going on for the past year and a half or so of my life. But recently, I listened to the audiobook Girl, Wash Your Face by Rachel Hollis, and she totally reframed failure in my mind. And now I understand some of the things that she says, like she talks about how success is not the lack of failure, it's failing and getting back up again. Over and 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 over, like a bunch of times. And she says something about how the difference between success and failure is she's on a mountaintop of failure over failure stacked on top of each other, but she's standing on top of it all because she gets back up again and continues to go. She's not buried underneath it. So that's the difference. And that's just, it seems like such a simple thing, but I just never thought of it that way. So before, when I would try to start making my life better and digging myself out of the hole that I got into when I stopped doing my YouTube channel, I just would end up falling right back off and then just get further and further down again and again and again. But since I listened to that audiobook, things have been entirely different, and not only a few weeks after, or I don't know, I'd say a few weeks to a month after I listened to it, her and her husband started this last 90 days challenge they do at the end of every year that helps you finish out the last 90 days of the year really strong. So when you come into the new year, you aren't coming off of like making a bunch of bad decisions from holiday time and all that. You're coming from being really intentional and really thriving to be better. They have a 5 for Thrive thing you do. And it just helps you hold yourself accountable and be really ready to start out the new year great. And so I've been participating in that. And I can tell you I definitely haven't done every single thing every single day. Not even close. But I can also tell you that I've done so much more for myself in the past, I think today's day 18 days. And I even started to like prepare myself for it like 3 or 4 or 5 days before. So really, even longer than 18 days. I've been having such better days and doing so much more, taking care of myself and doing the things that I need to do to get back on track than I have in the past year and a half. So simply having that reframed in my mind has totally changed how I look at failure, to the point that whenever I miss something, if I have a bad day, I don't wake up the next day feeling like it's already a bad day too. I have had my amazing days be back to back with my days that were not so great. And so that's really one of my biggest lessons right now, has been reframing failure in my mind. And that's something that I think a lot of us have problems with. So if that's something you have problems with, I suggest you go listen to her audiobook or buy the book or go to the library and borrow it for free. Or also you can follow her on Instagram. Her and her husband Dave Hollis are both extremely active on Instagram. They do live streams like every single morning during the week. So, and they're just like constantly pumping out stuff to try to keep people motivated. And so that's what's really helped me with my journey. So if you're having problems with that, I suggest you go check that out. And then also how I kind of touched on how I'm learning about sharing our stories is really important. I haven't really put my finger on why, other than what I explained, that like is partially because it can help other people. But I'd like to think that it's also because we all have our own unique reason for being here and our own unique purpose. And until we start like trying to share what we've gone through and be open with it, I don't think that we can really find that purpose, because we kind of need to accept our own lives, our situations, what we've been through, what we're going through, before we can be open to doing what we need to do to be living out our divine reason for being here, pretty much, is how I see it. So I just feel like that's probably part of the reason it's so important. And I do truly believe that all of us are our own little unique puzzle piece in the whole puzzle of changing the world over the next few generations, which is like if you're watching this channel, you probably already know that's what's coming. And that we all have, if you reincarnated here, if you came here, that you chose to be a part of that. So it's really important for us right now to embrace this, embrace our stories, embrace sharing with others, embrace other people's stories, listen to their stories, as well as sharing ours. So that's another big lesson for me right now. And I don't really have any resources to give you to learn about that. It's just been kind of coming to me naturally, and then just through the media I've been seeking out, I've ended up hearing about it. And then the other thing that I feel like is a big lesson for me right now in this season of life is being emotionally open. So I feel like to explain this, I should probably explain what's going on with me. So basically, for the past year and a half, me and my fiance have had a lot of problems communicating. Just like any man, he's been programmed to think it's not okay to be open with emotions and things like that. So we just haven't been able to really openly talk about things. And I spent so long just being so mad at him and blaming him and thinking it was his fault and he's the one that's not being open with me and all of this. And I finally realized that I'm not being open about how I feel with him either. And my excuse is, oh, well, you won't talk back, or, oh, you won't care about what I have to say, or whatever. You're just annoyed by me talking to you, or whatever. But I've realized that was all excuses in the end. No matter what, it's my responsibility to be open about how I'm feeling and what I need with him, regardless of how it's going to be, how I think it's going to be received, or if I feel like he's not going to say anything back or anything like that. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. There's no excuse not to be open with how I feel, because the thing is, we've all been programmed to really be in the masculine energy for the past millennia, and to really just push down the feminine emotions and all of that. And we've been taught that being emotional makes you weak, when actually it makes you strong to be open with your emotions and to be vulnerable with your emotions. And so I think it's really important, and I've known that, but somehow I fell into this trap where I let him having problems communicating make me also have problems communicating, and then blamed it all on him and couldn't admit that it was my problem too. And so this is something I'm in real time working through and trying to start being more open. And the more that I'm working on that, I'm getting more guidance that basically it's really important for anybody who feels like they're an empath, which I do resonate with, to really embrace how they feel and get a hold on how they feel and be open with how they feel and be careful not to take on everybody else's emotions like empaths tend to do. So I've been learning a lot about kind of keeping a force field, you could call it, around my energy field, so that I'm not ending up taking in everybody else's energy, and so that I can actually process what emotions are mine and keep it separate from what emotions I might accidentally take on from people around me. And so I've just been kind of getting guidance that it's really important for us to be open about the way that we're feeling and everything, because most people aren't okay with being open with their emotions. And it's not just something that's like, oh, if you do this, you'll feel a little better. It's not even just that simple. It's vital to your mental health to be open about how you feel and to be able to be vulnerable. And until all of us can do that, it's going to be really hard to change the world. But when all of us can do that, it will start to help change the world. And it's the inevitable change that's coming, so we might as well do what we can to help it happen faster, because I don't think anybody, if you ask a group of people, are you happy with the state of the world right now? Is anybody ever going to say yes? I don't know anybody that would say yes to that. So, we all want a better world, and this is a big, major way that we can help bring on that new world. As empaths, we're specifically supposed to really harness being an empath, versus seeing it as a bad thing, like, oh God, I can't help it, I take on everybody's emotions and all this. You can help it. You just need to look into it and look into methods to help you control it and control taking on others' emotions. And when we do this, what we're doing is we're holding the space for other people to also learn how to do that. So it's extremely important, because when all of us can learn how to be open and accept our emotions and accept the feminine side of ourselves, it will help tremendously with bringing on the new world that we all dream of. So, all these things I'm telling you that I feel like I'm learning about in this season of life are things, as I said, I'm learning about in real time. This is nothing that I've mastered. Anything I try to tell you about, I'm not telling you because I feel like I'm a master at any of this. I'm just sharing with you what I'm going through and what's helped me with what I'm going through, so that maybe it can help you too. And so that maybe you can know what you might want to go look into. Basically, one thing Rachel says a lot that I like is to be ignorant in the age of information is a choice. If you're watching this, you have access to internet, and you could go Google how to handle any problem you have right now. So if you're somebody who feels like you're an empath and you're so overwhelmed by the way that other people's emotions come into your field and you take them on as your own and you can't even tell the difference, I was there too. It's called Google. It's that simple. I don't want to be like insensitive or anything. I appreciate how hard it is to struggle with these things, but I just want you to realize that ultimately you have the choice. That's the big theme of Rachel's book that I mentioned earlier, is your life is your responsibility, and you have the choice to seek out the information you need to make things better for yourself. And I know that might be hard to accept, but I'm telling you that accepting it has totally changed my life. And it's only been a month and a half maybe, and things have totally changed for me. So if you can have the strength and courage to embrace that, your life can change too. So these are the things going on for me right now, and I hope that they can help you, and I hope being open with them can help you. And so you can expect my videos that will be coming out every week to relate to what I'm going through, what I'm learning to cope with it. I'm still going to be teaching about specific topics that I'm learning about, such as a video I want to make soon about distilled water, things like that I'll still be bringing up. It's not going to be just like the emotional stuff and all that, but I'm going to be doing both, is basically the point I'm getting at. It's not going to be just one or the other. It's not going to be just educational. It's not going to be just personal. It's going to be both. So that's what you can expect with my channel going forward. Thanks for watching. If you like this video or you feel like it could help somebody, feel free to like and share. If you want to see more content, you can go look at the other videos I have. I upload videos every Friday and occasionally on Tuesdays. Or you can also find me across all these social media platforms at Miss Krissy Jae. And thanks again. I'll see you next time.